from NBC News in Washington, the longest-running show in television history. This is Meet the Press with Chuck Todd.
Good Sunday morning. Americans are seething at their political leaders and at each other. That's according to a brand new NBC News poll we are releasing right now. They're dissatisfied with what seems to be inevitable, a 2024 rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. As Biden prepares to formally announce his campaign for a second term early this week, just 1 in 4 Americans believe he should run for re-election. 70% say he shouldn't run. By the way, only 35% believe Donald Trump should run again. 60% say no. Only 5% of Americans actually want both of these gentlemen to run. And let me show you even more of this poll. 53% of 2020 Biden voters say he shouldn't run. 64% of Democrats who voted for Sanders or Warren in the 2020 primaries think he shouldn't run. And 76% of voters under 35 think he shouldn't run. And what's the top concern for that? We asked voters. We didn't prompt them. We said, why don't you think he should run? Well, these were the responses. It almost is all about his age and his ability to do the job. Again, these are among Democratic primary voters. Overall, the president's job rating is not in a good place when you're seeking re-election, sitting at just 41%, driven by the 58% of Americans who disapprove of how he is handling the economy right now. Just 30% of independents approve of the job Biden is doing overall. But as Biden is fond of saying, he is not to be judged by the almighty, but judge him by the alternative. And guess what? The alternative is even more unpopular among the American public. Let me show you here. Here's the feelings about Donald Trump. Just 1 in 3 Americans have positive feelings about him. A majority have negative feelings, sitting at 53%. Among voters overall, a majority believe that the charges in New York are serious enough because he should be held to the same standard as anyone else. 43% believe he's being unfairly targeted, and that's approximately the number that seems to stick behind Donald Trump on almost anything. And among Republican voters, it appears that the New York indictment only galvanized his support. We asked them whether these charges were politically motivated attack, and it means they've got to stand behind Donald Trump, or do these charges indicate that he's got a lot of distractions in his way and that it's important to nominate somebody else who can focus on beating Joe Biden? Well, as you can see here, it's no contest. Nearly 70% believe they've got to rally around Donald Trump right now because of these indictments. Only 1 in 4 Republican voters believe it is time to move on. And that translates into the Republican primary matchup here. Donald Trump with 46%. Now, look, Ron DeSantis, that's a healthy number for somebody that's never run for president before. It's about the same spot that Barack Obama started in against Hillary Clinton back in 2007. And when you combine first and second choice here, you see that Trump and DeSantis could very well end up in a neck-and-neck race here. But that's the point. Donald Trump seems to be as strong, if not stronger, with the groups that matter the most when it comes to winning a Republican primary. Now, there's one more major takeaway from this poll. As the Supreme Court keeps the abortion pill mifepristone available for now, putting a stay on the Texas ruling, which revoked FDA approval for the drug, abortion is energizing voters. Nearly 60%, as you can see here, of voters want abortion access to remain legal. And among, ready for this, among the 43% who told us that abortion is the single issue that drives them to the polls, they believe it should be legal by a 65-34% margin. This is another sign that the energy is on the Democratic side of this issue after Dobbs. When Roe v. Wade was law of the land, single-issue abortion voters almost universally leaned Republican. 2024 Republican hopefuls met in their first Iowa cattle call last night, courting the caucus's most important demographic, religious voters. Donald Trump didn't appear at the event. He sent a video claiming credit for the Supreme Court justices he appointed, while his former vice president took Donald Trump on the issue of abortion.
I face down vile attacks to confirm our 3 great Supreme Court justices, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett.
I do think it's more likely that this issue is resolved at the state level, but I don't agree with the former president who says this is a states-only issue.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.